So if you're here to learn about ITBOM LLC consulting, I want to tell you a little bit about my process. I believe that organizations should approach diversity, equity, and inclusion from a whole systems change model. And what does that mean? Well, plain language, it means you should look to change all of your systems so that diversity, equity, and inclusion does not just live in your HR department. It lives in your marketing department, your strategy overall. I believe whole system change is the way to really move an organization forward with diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so I work with clients on every level of their enterprise, from coaching executives to coaching functional teams to reviewing materials to really taking the time to understand what you do, how you do it, and how we can expand to be more inclusive, more equitable, and more diverse in your workspace. I also utilize a well-known concept called design thinking. Design thinking helps people think broadly, and I believe in co-collaboration with my clients. And in order to collaborate, I utilize principles of design thinking. And those principles are empathize, ideate, prototype, and test. And what that means is that first, I take us through trainings, which our e-learning modules provide, which help you empathize and understand the problem. And then if you move to consulting, we ideate together. We come up with best, worst case solutions, and we work together on that process. And then we prototype. That prototyping could look like an equity roadmap. It could look like a particular project schedule for one of your departments. Any combination of those things would fall under prototyping. And then we test it, because this is a process of testing. It is a process of continuous improvement. And what I really want to impart to people who work with me is that this whole systems change design thinking is really designed to move DEI through your organization and root it so that it is not a whim and it's not, dependent on who is in charge at a time. One of the things we know is that systems have been historically inequitable. And to correct that, we have to correct that with systemic equity. And that's what whole systems change and design thinking do for me as I work with clients toward more equitable workspaces, more inclusive workspaces, and more diverse workspaces.